Aaron Rodgers is reportedly on the shortlist to be the running mate of independent candidate for president, Robert Kennedy Jr. Also on the list, former Minnesota governor and BOA enthusiast, Jesse the Body Ventura. According to the New York Times, both have, quote, welcomed the overtures. Jets PR did not weigh in when asked for comment to The Athletic. Sauce Gardner, however, has, saying, oh, Aaron is about to become the vice president. That's why he hasn't been answering my text messages. So that's from Sauce Gardner. Nick, do you have a comment?
I do. Wilds, can you go back? I apologize to your script. The New York Times reported that both of them have
welcome to the overture.
So have not dismissed it, denied it, not said it's not being reported that this is something RFK would like, but Aaron's like, conflicts with my day job. Okay. So now that we have that settled, Aaron Rodgers should just retire. His heart's not in it. He has other interests, God bless him. Steph Curry, I don't want to say floated, was asked yesterday, actually, would you ever run for office one day? And his answer was maybe. So the idea, the athlete, Bill Bradley Brew, who I think you covered in high school, was a senator for...
Jack Kemp?
Yeah, there's plenty of people, athletes, turned politicians. And Aaron Rodgers, what you can't do is both. In a world where Baker Mayfield still gets criticized for a couple days of insurance commercials during the offseason, I don't think you can weigh or balance quarterback for the Jets with, the VP debate between weeks 5 and 6.
You don't think?
I don't think it's a realistic game plan. And I know that people are expecting me to call Aaron Rodgers disingenuous because he is the most disingenuous athlete of my lifetime. And for those people, you're in luck. Because here was Aaron Rodgers, the last time he was in the Jets facility, what he said that needs to be the biggest focus of their offseason. Let's take a listen.
When you step in the building, there's intentionality with everything that you do. And it's not a half the time thing. It's not a sometimes thing. It's not a most of the time thing. It's an every time thing. If you want to be a winning organization, you have to put yourself in position to win championships and be competitive. Everything that you do matters. And the bullshit that has nothing to do with winning needs to get out of the building.
Unless, of course, I'm talking about myself.
What?
The ultimate do as I say, not as I do. And so I think that the New York Jets, this is tantamount to, Brew, parents whose kid is a child star and the breadwinner of the family. Oh. An 11-year-old that's in a huge movie. That they went from a working class family to millionaires, but it's all the kid's money. And he's figured it out. He's like, I'm in charge here. They can't do anything to me because I'm pulling the purse strings. Well, Ja's an adult at least, but sure. But imagine a child, an actual child. And when Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas only have their jobs because Aaron likes them, then he knows I can do this. I cannot rebut it. I cannot deny it. In fact, I can consider, he's probably not going to win. And if he does, we'll cross that bridge when he gets there. So I think it's embarrassing. And I think that if this is what Aaron even considers.
For the Jets.
Yes. And embarrassing for Aaron because he is trying to pretend, at least as of now, that these are viable simultaneous paths. And they're not.
Yeah, that part is ridiculous, that these are both viable. So let me start here. In fairness to Aaron Rodgers, and I think he is obviously narcissistic. I think, that's clear. But in fairness to him, when he did say, we got to be all in, all the other stuff that's not about winning has to be out of the building, all that, he didn't know he was going to be asked to run for vice president. All right? So I will give him that. And I'm going to be honest. He's 40 years old. He's clearly at the end of his road as far as playing football. I don't blame him, even though I don't think they would win, obviously. But I don't blame him for oh, wow. Now, if Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, even in Aaron Rodgers early in his career, I think they'd be like, no, I'm a football player and I want to have my career. But now where Rodgers is at, I don't blame him for being intrigued by this. I mean, that would be great. He seems like a guy that wants to talk about these things. If he wants to run for VP, that's fine. And here's the thing. In 2 weeks, we're going to know. So they're going to make their decision. Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to make his decision. And I'm betting it won't be Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
But we'll know in a couple of weeks, so it doesn't have to be a huge distraction. Now, if it is Rodgers, he can't play football. I don't want to hear anybody, including him, talk about I can run for vice president and play football. If I'm the Jets, I'm like, this is our opportunity to cut ties. And I get you're right about the front office, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh. At some point, you just got to stand up like a man and say, this is not going to work. You cannot be running for vice president and play quarterback in the NFL.
Obviously, but can I ask this question before you go?
So then they cut ties and trade for Justin Fields. That's what they should do. I mean, seriously, move off from him and his money.
So, all right, so 2 things. One is the CNN reported that RFK has made his decision, just hasn't announced it. Now, whether or not he's told Aaron or whatever it is, that's fine. Why would Aaron, if he wants to play football, why would he not say thanks but no thanks? Or if he really wants to do this, why would he not say, yeah, we're going to need to have this not leak. We're going to need to have the fact that I might be your pick. And if it does leak, Robert, I'm going to need you to go ahead and say it's not me if it's not me. Why would we allow this? What is happening in the NFL right now?
He loves the attention.
Okay,
he's
there we go.
He's a narcissist.
Okay.
So I agree. He doesn't mind it leaking.
Do you think it's good for the Jets right now? Forget in 2 weeks.
But it'll be over in a couple of weeks.
It's free agency right now.
That's right.
It's time to build your team
They got a lot
right
there.
now. Yes, but right today. They traded for an old right tackle. You know why? Because they got an old quarterback. They're making their plans under the auspices that this guy is going to play quarterback for them. And now, Aaron Rodgers, who is never hesitant to find a microphone, an interview, anything to get his point across, now we're 24 hours removed from PFT commenter's dog on Twitter breaking this story, by the way. Shout out to Leroy for being the first one on it, saying that Aaron Rodgers could be the vice presidential candidate, and he's just letting it sit there.
Well,
how does that not make you the biggest hypocrite in sports? How can I show one other quote before you go? Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh, when it came to Hard Knocks, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of eyes on me, a lot of eyes on our team, a lot of expectations on our squad. They forced it down our throats. Well, how about when the international foreign press starts coming to training camp? Aaron, Saleh, several teams would love for Hard Knocks to be in their building. We're just not one of them. Well, if your quarterback is flirting with a presidential run during an election year, I would say there's going to be more eyes on the team.
But Nick, again, it'll be over in a few weeks.
It will not prove.
If the Jets are a joke, if they let this dude run for vice president and be their quarterback.
Of course that won't happen. That's not what I'm saying.
Now, what they need to do is sit down and talk with him. And if he really is going to be the VP, then that's where I was serious about the Justin Fields stuff.
Sure.
That's where it matters. Like, they should go after Justin Fields if he's not going to be there. But I will say this, and again, I don't think 2 months ago when Aaron Rodgers said we got to be all in, that he was thinking he had a chance to run for vice president. And I think there's always, I love it here. I love our job. There's some things that if it came my way that I might want to entertain. I'm sure it's the same for both of us, all three of us.
Not me.
So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is something. Now, I agree. He's disingenuous. He's narcissistic, all that. And this is hypocritical. But I think this is something that I don't blame him for entertaining.
Okay. Sure, I buy that. I wish I had the same passion as you guys, because I don't. It's crossed the Rubicon to, man, whatever. I'm in prime, whatever, probably not mode with Aaron Rodgers. It's like, I'm going to host Jeopardy. Like, probably not going to be the host of Jeopardy. I'm gonna be a Packer next year. Like, probably not. Like, I'm immunized. You're probably not, dude. You're probably not. I'm going to come back this year. Don't count me out. I'll be on that field. If we make a... You're probably not, dude. I was going to retire out of the darkness retreat. Like, again, you're probably not. So it's like he's weighing being the vice presidential candidate. Like, it just hit me as probably not. So I tried to. You sent the text right after the show, and I had a pithy joke, and then I kind of moved on. And I think a lot of people are, which speaks to the fact that what's his next act of attention? That's what I'm interested in. Is it
after this?
After this goes away,
this is gonna be
just like
pretty tough to
everything
top.
else has gone away, it peaks up and then it goes away. Does he have another card to play? I don't know if he does. The attention for the warmth of the spotlight is hard
and also
after
to
this,
quench.
where do you go?
I agree with that, but I want to, if I may, and I think it was brilliantly done, Wilds, and you're right, which is your old buddy Bill Simmons called it 20 years ago the Tyson zone.
Yeah.
When someone entered, he said Mike Tyson entered a place where someone could tell you anything. Did you see that Mike Tyson did X? And you would believe it.
Yeah. Selling gummies of Evander Holyfield's ear?
It's like, wait, what? Yeah, and so
Fighting at
successful.
58 years old.
Fighting Jake Paul
and Mike
or
Tyson,
Logan
evidently,
Paul?
God bless him, still in the Tyson zone. Rodgers has entered that.
Yeah.
Where there is nothing I could text you about Aaron other than, he was seen on a field doing the 40 that you wouldn't believe. And so there's that part of it. Bro, I want to get back to something you said, which is you said that we all have jobs so I agree with you, but I'm also going to tell you this. If you were like, guys, I'm letting you know I might be leaving the show. I think I got a chance. They saw some of the grainy high school footage. I think I might be the next quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I'd be like, you don't take this job seriously, buddy, because you actually have no chance of that. I know it sounds like a great job, but you're not going to get that job. Aaron Rodgers has no chance of being the next vice president of the United States.
No,
None.
but does he have
None.
a chance of being Kennedy's
He has
That's
a chance.
all we're saying. I agree with that.
But
Kennedy's not going to win the presidency.
which is
But he's
why
still
it's so
running.
insulting. Right, but he's not leaving 52 guys on his team hanging. I don't know what Robert Kennedy's, he's putting the lady from Curb Your Enthusiasm in a tough spot. Aside from that, he's just his own
We've
guy.
had some presidents
I understand.
that